Welcome to your Travel Bestie Cat, the podcast where we talk real travel, real advice, and real lessons so you can travel smarter, not stressed. I'm your Travel Bestie, Cat, and I've got you, boo. Let's go. Hey, besties. Welcome back to your Travel Bestie Cat. If this is your first time here, hi, I'm Kat, your travel agent bestie who wants you sipping cocktails, not stressing over fine print. Today, we're going to talk about travel insurance. I know, it's not glamorous. Eyes glaze over, people sigh, and someone says, I'll just risk it for the biscuit. But here's the thing. Travel insurance is one of those things everyone thinks they understand until they actually need it. So today, let's just take a few. We're going to talk about it. I've got some real life situations. One that recently happened that surprised even a couple of experienced travelers. What Aware travel insurance actually covers, what it absolutely does not cover, and how to choose the right coverage without guessing. Because this is your vacation. I know you had your countdown calendar going. You had signs up on the fridge and in the bathroom, and you were planning for this trip. So if something came up that might possibly interfere with it, we need to be on top of it, and we need to be on top of our travel insurance game. Let's talk about a real life story. I got a court case example. Scary, huh? So I want to start with this real life example. An agent friend of mine. Details changed, names left out. The lesson is real. Two friends were going on a trip and they purchased travel insurance. They were set. They did what they were supposed to do. Like all good agents, they recommended, just like I do, I strongly encourage you to get the travel insurance because you never know what could happen. So they did, and they felt protected. And then something unexpected happened. One of the group they were traveling with became a plaintiff in a court case. Naturally, the client assumed, well, this is serious. Insurance should cover this. Except you know what? It didn't. Here's the twist. The policy would have covered jury duty, but it did not cover them being pulled in as a plaintiff in a case. It shocked them. It shocked me, actually. Because why? They assumed travel insurance works like a safety net for anything life throws at you. But it doesn't. Sadly, insurance works off very specific, written, covered reasons. No vibes, no assumptions, no, well, this feels important. Because that's not how insurance works. Let's bust the biggest myth right now. Myth. If something happens, insurance will cover it. Truth. Insurance only covers what's written in that policy. Legal trouble, usually not covered. Work conflicts, sometimes not. Family situations, depends on the wording. Insurance is not a life happens blanket. It's a contract. And contracts care about the details, dotting the I's, crossing the T's. There's different types of travel insurance. Let's try and explain them a little bit. Let's break down the most common types of travel insurance so you know what you're actually buying. Per trip policies. Now that is actually what the girls we talked about earlier had. This is the most common policy. It covers one specific trip. You're usually buying it through the vendor. So if it's the cruise line or the resort or the hotel or the airline or even the car insurance, you're usually buying it specifically for the dates, the destination, and that one event. It's generally best for cruises, international trips, big vacations with flights and hotels. It's usually straightforward and easy to customize. The cons are it only covers that one trip. And like we saw before, it doesn't still cover everything. Then there's annual policies. Now my family and I, this is what we actually do. Because we take more than 2 or 3 trips a year, This is the policy that just works best for us. It covers multiple trips within a year, and it's great if you're a frequent traveler, weekend getaways, or people who hate buying insurance repeatedly for each individual trip. Now, it's important to note that most annual plans limit how long each trip can be. So if you were going to do a 6-month cruise, that would not be covered, or even a 6-month trip overseas, because there are length stipulations in most of them. And there's max payouts in most of them too. So honestly, you would want to look really close if you were going to spend on a once-in-a-lifetime trip. That might not be covered if it went over that max limit. So we'd have to check that out. Then you've got CFR policies, and that's a cancel for any reason. This one causes the most confusion because CFR, that cancel for any reason, does not mean a full refund. No questions asked, cancel anytime for 100%. Doesn't mean that. What it does mean is you can cancel for reasons not normally covered. You usually get between 50 to 75% back. You have to buy it early. They usually do limit when you can get it. It usually has to be within 2 weeks of booking the trip. Sometimes 30 days, but usually 2 weeks. You must follow the exact rules. Cancel for any reason should really be called cancel for most reasons with rules because, yeah. Let's talk about what insurance covers and what it doesn't. Commonly covered things are medical emergencies, emergency evacuation, trip cancellation for covered reasons. We just had all those incidents in San Juan. Trip interruption. Those people couldn't fly in to Puerto Rico. Jury duty. Policy dependent. And remember, plaintiff, probably not. Commonly not covered, those legal issues and those court cases, work disputes, changing your mind, and a known issue before purchase. So if you knew you had a health issue or you knew you had that court case looming, something like that. This is where assumptions get expensive. Now, there's important boundaries here with travel agent versus insurance agent. And this part's so very, very important. Your travel agent, including me, your bestie cat, is not an insurance agent. We cannot legally interpret policy wording, guarantee coverage, or decide what will be paid out. Our job is to offer you the options, encourage you to look into them, guarantee coverage, and decide what will be paid out. Is not in that. But we can offer the options, we can recommend trusted providers, and we can encourage you to call and ask questions. I know I had a family earlier this year. They were going on a family vacation, husband, wife, and kids, and the grandfather was very sick. And we had legitimate concerns that they might not make it to the time they left on the boat. So I strongly encouraged them to call and talk to the insurance company and the agents that we were booking their coverage with to make sure that they would be able to cancel if something happened to the grandfather before they left. Because that's important. They're not going to want to miss that. They want to be there to say goodbye, right? And we want them to be able to do that. So if it matters, you, the consumer, the purchaser of the trip, call the insurance company directly and ask, is it covered? Is this specifically covered? It's a recorded line. You can record it too. What if this happens? Will this be covered? Can you explain this section to me? I don't understand. Don't be scared to ask them to break it down like we're 5 and we need help. Do not guess. Let's get clarification. Now, how are we going to choose the right coverage? Well, you have to ask yourself, what would cancel my trip? Would it be the losing of the grandfather like that? Would it be the friend having the plaintiff in the case? How much money would I lose? What are we willing to risk? Am I traveling internationally? Is this a once in a lifetime trip with that overnight in Cairo where we're going to get to run around and see pyramids? Then, when we've asked those questions, we have our parameters, let's talk to your agent, your travel agent, your bestie cat. Let's call the insurance company. I don't mind getting on a three-way with you and talking to them with you. Ask real what if questions. This is what I did with that family about the grandfather. If it's important to you, it's important to me, and we need to verify that information. Travel insurance isn't about fear. It's about informed protection. The right policy depends on your life, not someone else's story. We want to travel smarter, ask questions, and we don't want to assume. This is your Travel Bestie Cat, reminding you that smart travel is happy travel. Please like and follow along. We've got some great interview podcasts coming up, and I am having so much fun doing this. Have a beautiful day. It's going to be a travel-filled year, y'all.